For there were many people coming and going, that the apostles had no time even to eat. The people saw them going, and many could guess where. And from every town they all hurried to the place on foot and reached it before them. As Jesus and his apostles stepped ashore, they saw a large crowd, and he took pity on them and set himself to teach them at some length. What a scenario. What a beautiful sight. The people's need and hunger for God was so conspicuous, so blatant, so real, so palpable. They kept coming and going that Jesus and his apostles couldn't even get the time to eat. And when Jesus and his apostles tried to withdraw to the desert, to a quiet place, that they could get a breather, to eat and to refresh, the people came there on foot to the desert. And it must be quite a distance for Jesus and his apostles to go on a boat. So you could imagine their effort, their drive, and their hunger to be with God, to listen to him, to be taught by him, to be touched by him. I was just wondering, what is it about Jesus that they couldn't get enough of? What were they looking for? Of course, in today's scripture, gospel, we were not told. But from what transpired, we could get a clue. We were told that he taught them at some length. Therefore, it means that the people had need to know. They needed to know God more. They needed to be sure and to know that they were living as God would have them to. So they had that need to know. We were also told that he healed them of their infirmities and exorcised them of evil spirits. This is a regular in Jesus' ministry, healing the sick and exorcising them of evil spirits. So this means that they had the need to be free, for only then we can live life to the full. Therefore, despite Jesus' weakness, despite the tiredness of his apostles, he never turned anyone away. Never had and never will. He always looked upon them with pity and met them at their needs. And the word used for compassion today is so touching. The Greek word is splanchnizomai. You know, from the word splanchna, guts, intestine, if you like. And what that means is that he had compassion. He was touched from the depth of his being, from his gut, from his core. That's the kind of compassion God has for his people. One thing is sure. We rarely see the same kind of desire and hunger to be with God anymore today. Certainly not in the same number or in the same manner. Yet the intricacies, the needs of men have not really changed that much. We are still like a sheep without a shepherd. Many of God's flock are still ignorant. Of course, we like to think of ourselves as educated and as knowledgeable, but when you reflect on our actions, on our choices, on the human experience, you will discover how shocking foolish we have become. So the need to know is still there. People still need to know God. And scripture says, this is salvation, Jesus will say, to know you, the one true God, and Jesus whom you have sent. The need to know God is still huge today. Look at the comments people make. Look at how people live their life. You wonder, do they really know? People are still possessed. Of course, you heard of the recent report of how predominant demonic possession and oppression is now in the country. So a lot of God's people are still possessed and manipulated by the devil. So the need to be set free is still huge. And like I said earlier, unless we are set free, we cannot live the fullness of life. Many are still sick. Of course, you would agree with me that the rate of sickness is alarming. It gives concern. So the need to be freed and to be healed is still top-notch. But again, the problem lies in the fact that we think ourselves as free. We think ourselves of not being needy in any way. And that's the problem, because how can you help someone in dire strait who thinks of themselves as okay? It's just like what one wise person would say, that you can't really save a man from himself. The Jesus who healed these people, who fed them, exorcised them from the influence of evil spirits, and taught them of God's will, is still the God we serve today. Hebrews chapter 13 verse 8 says that He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He never changed. Matthew chapter 11 verse 28, He calls us, He is the same God, calling us to Himself. Come to me, all of you with your burdens and your loads of care, I will give you rest. If we, like the crowd, truly heed His call, then we will be able to say with the psalmist of today, that the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, because He makes me lie down in green pastures, leading me beside still waters and restoring my soul. Such will be our experience. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. With thy rod and thy staff thou comfort me. Surely His goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Such will be our experience and our testimony.